versus Tater-Bots, and I'm casting Timepiece, and my partner here, Uravity, is commentating.
Hello, hello.
Alright, let's get everything set up. Everything looks good, everything's ready to go, and we have readies from both teams. Alright, let's get started.
Now arriving at Eos.
I'm excited to see these two teams go head to head.
Initiating match.
I've heard nothing
Same here.
but good things.
You could start on well.
Who doesn't love this
The
map, right?
yeah.
What? You don't love this map?
What do you mean?
Wow.
I love well so much.
Ready for battle.
Ooh, looks like we have a Risa on both of these teams. We have a Sigma for red team and a Torb, along with a Soldier, Moira, Lucio, and then on blue team we have Risa, Hog, which I have only seen good things from Sean, and Chaotic on Hanzo. We have that Bara from Nation, Lucio, Mercy.
Round one. Capture the objective.
Yeah, I think we were gonna definitely see the Orisa here on well. It's just the halt is so powerful with the well, like just consisting of like 80% of the objective. We have Nation on fire here, which I think was an expected pick from them. Sean able to get an early pick on the polish. That's going to help a lot here. Luckily they did opt for the Sigma, but the Sigma's gone too! Both tanks gone, courtesy of Sean. Would be an easy first cap for Tater-Bots here, and Nation able to get a pick onto their counter Korean. It's going to be a very fun head-to-head between these two DPS tonight. See Tater-Bots here trying to... Looks like they're establishing on this high ground. They're going to have to be careful though, because Nation will be able to boot them off of this cliff here if they opt to go the left side, but it looks like they're not going to. They're going to go main anyways. Using the Sigma shield here to make things hard for Nation. Sean with a hook, not able to connect, and the halt almost pulls them into the well themselves. You have to be careful trying to hook that Orisa. Yellow falls here, courtesy of Korean, able to peek around the corner. That's going to force Rogue Knights into this little building here. Sean with another pull on the polish, but pays. Polish able to kill them on the way down. And Cat able to get a res here, bringing Sean back into the fight. Pulls the Lucio into the well, but would have been able to wall ride. They should be able to execute on the stagger animation though. And now Sean's in the back line, using a whole hug. Some help from Mercy, able to get another kill, but Rage Quit able to shut down Sean, and the res was just used. Luckily, Chaotic Phoenix able to get a pick on the Rage Quit. That should help even out the stagger pick on the Sean. Here we see an interesting far side rotation from Tater-Bots. They want to come in behind Rogue Knights, try and take this point back. Back visor being invested early here. Sean able to get the hook, and Bullet Dodgers uses Helix a little bit too close to the Roadhog. And now Rogue Knights are pushing in. They're just collapsing with their ultimates at this point. I don't think that anybody from Tater-Bots has a chance to touch here. The halt is going to tell McBrantis they have no chance at all. And that will be Rogue Knights securing themselves objective 1 of Ilios.
That was pretty interesting. I mean, really, it was once you secured the point, there was no taking it back, right?
Right. Between Sean and Nation, it was just really hard for Tater-Bots to come in and kind of recontest at all, because every time they would come in, they would just get hooked into the well.
Yeah.
And even if they weren't able to get like hooked into the well, Nation was providing such good spam damage on the chokes. And because this double shield comp they were running, they're still running it, but they've swapped to a Tracer, but it was getting so much value because they were like basically forced to stay glued to each other. The Pharah was able to get so much value with the Pharah Mercy, the damage boost. But now these teams come in almost neck and neck, getting to the point, but here is Rogue Knights saying that we want to go on ahead and claim the space and the objective and force you guys to fight into us. To which Tater-Bots seems more than happy to do. A really nice halt finding 4 members of the team, but no follow-up able to come through. And the tank line for Tater-Bots is really weak. Nation able to find a pick on the bullet dodgers behind the team a little bit here. Not able to find cover from the shields. Chaotic able to pick off Polish. That should be a reset here, and Rogue Knights should start building a lot of progress. Now they're going to start pushing out here. Going to try and find a stagger pick if they can. Eldritch pushing past the shield, using halt, pulling 3 members together. Are they going to be able to find a pick here? Coalescence being invested here, trying to punish the over pushing of the enemy team. Chaotic Phoenix on this high ground here has the help of the Mercy, able to keep them alive, but no bullet dodgers getting the consecutive shots, finding the pick before Chaotic Phoenix can get back to the point of safety. And now Tater-Bots are going to push in. Nation's using the barrage on point. Sean able to find Polish. But bullet dodgers. Nation was unable to move. It's easy shots for the McCree. A huge gravitic flex though, picking up multiple members of Tater-Bots. And it looks like Rogue Knights are going to hold here. Korean wannabe though with a pulse bomb in the spawn area of Rogue Knights. We'll see if that comes into play later here in this next fight. This next fight is going to be critical. They just did a comp swap here. Committing to the Zarya with the Reinhardt now. Korean shows up, throws the pulse bomb in, but Nation finds the pick. Yellow falls though, gets rezzed. Great job by Cat making sure their team has both of their healers for this engagement. It is such a critical one to have. And now the Zarya is stuck out here, rage quit on the ledge, it's gunned down by Nations. And now you only have 10 seconds left if your Tater-Bots to touch. Can anybody make it? Korean wannabe looks like they're the only one that's close enough to maybe touch. They're gonna get the overtime. Recall out, that ability is no longer available for Korean. The members of Tater-Bots are here. If they're gonna win this map, they need to win this specific fight. Polish already falls really low. High Noon being invested, not gonna find anything but shield health. Tater-Bots are able to sustain here for the most part. Until that happens, both others fall. Yellow able to get the pick up of Polish. Polish was doing as much as they could with the Reinhardt shield to stay alive. This is a really messy fight. Nations though looking to settle this fight. Getting a double kill with the barrage and finishing off Ilios in favor of Rogue Knights.
It was a super clean ult there by Nation.
Just bided its time until the barrage came online, and by the time it did, all the shield resources for the team, especially because Polish being their only shield at the time, had fallen. At that point in time, your only hope of surviving from a barrage like that is your Zarya bubbles, but at that point in a fight, they're likely on cooldown. Really strong performances from Nations and Sean. Ilios, I think they did a really good job of just completely shutting down Tater-Bots every time they tried to make any sort of push.
Alright, well, let's see. Let's get these swaps in. So we're gonna have Scrungus in for Sean for Rogue Knights, and the last Brown in for Chaotic.
It's nice to see Chaotic come in here. Or did Chaotic go out?
Chaotic left. The last Brown
Oh.
came in. Yeah. And then we're gonna have Cat staying and Night Starling come in for yellow.
looking forward to Nimbani with these two teams, especially considering we see Korean on the Tracer and Nation on the Pharah. I am hopeful that one of the teams pulls out a dive comp for Nimbani. I feel like that's always a fun map to watch dive on, and
I mean, I think it's expected, right?
Mm-hmm. I also think that if Rogue Knights tries to commit to this double shield strategy that they were using on Nimbani, using a dive from the side of Tater-Bots might be enough to counter that double shield strategy.
Okay.
And we know that the Korean Tracer is no joke. If you pair that with almost any Winston, that is just whatever the Winston is on that gets deleted.
Okay. Let's get rid of this chat bug.
Chat bugs are the worst kind of bugs.
Honestly, true. Where did they go? I lost him. I lost him. Oh my goodness. Gotta scroll all the way up. I don't see him anymore.
Who did you lose?
The last brown.
I suppose they left. Were they the ones having the chat bug? They need rinse wash in for Nation.
Yeah, they were. The last brown was the one having the issue. I don't see him anymore.
Okay. They probably quit Overwatch and are reopening it to clear the chat bug.
Unfortunate. Okay, well. I don't see You don't see the last brown in spectators, right?
Correct, because they likely, since they were the ones having the chat bug, they probably closed the application.
Right, they're saying that they need him in.
They are not in specs.
Well.
They're back.
Maybe I accidentally kicked him. Sorry. Okay, we have readies from both teams. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Let's get started.
A lot of people don't care for Nimbani, which makes me sad because I like it. I think I've been coming to the realization that I like unpopular maps.
Yeah, Nimbani's the fave. Yes. Yes. So right now, Rogue Knights 1, map 1. Who doesn't love this map, though? Me saying this, like, about every map, but it's such a great map. It's so nice. There's so many ways to get to point.
Ready for battle.
Alright. Ooh, well here's that like dive comp that you wanted, kind of.
Yeah. This is an interesting dive from Rogue Knights. Considering it consists of dive tanks, but then 2 DPS heroes who would prefer to stay mostly stationary. Then on the side of Tater-Bots, I could just be attack from shenanigans, we don't know yet, but it looks viable enough to say they're gonna run the Orisa Hog with the McCree Sombra and the Moira Mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2,
I don't
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
don't see a lot of people run the Orisa Hog here on the Bunny. But the Roadhog will be really, really good at countering the dive, so this could just be they did their homework and they wanted a tank line that could hard counter the dive that they're expecting. I do see the Scrum get swapped off to the ball. They're on Diva now. Korean able to find the pick onto the turret. That's a little extra pressure gone. Eldritch hops onto the McCree, gets flashbanged immediately. If a hook comes through here, that could spell the end of Eldritch's run on this fight. Hook's not able to come through, and Brown able to find the pick on the Polish. That's going to leave Rage Quit alone on the point. They have the Moira healing them, but nothing to absorb this damage, and now McGrantis falls. Able to get a hook onto Rinse Wash, but that's a lot of burst damage they just sent to the Roadhog's way, and it's going to be Rogue Knights saying we're going to hold one more fight at least. Korean a little far forward here. Maka able to keep them topped up though. Polish just trying to get some accurate shots onto the Lucio, not quite finding them. If you could get the pick on the Night Starling though, that would be huge moving in. You have Jag on a little bit of a scouting mission here on this high ground, letting his team know exactly where the enemy team exists. And Korean falling low really quickly. Jag uncloaking, doing a little bit of poke damage to the turret, helping out Korean. The dive's coming through, they're on Korean. Maka using Valkyrie here to stay up. They're gonna have to guard that body. Using the Valkyrie to go get the res on the Korean. Jag finding the pick onto the Bob. That Molten Core could be really dangerous in this small little room. But looks like for the most part it finds Rage Quit, but the rest of the team gets out of it. Eldritch though, using the Primal, bullied Korean off screen. And now Tater-Bots are in a really weird position here where they've only got 3 members of their team in this choke back here. It's their Orisa and both their supports. Now both tanks are after them. That's really, really dangerous. If any one of these supports falls, and Maka does, that's both the supports are gone now. They win this team fight just by waiting a little bit to pick off those 3 who were stuck in their backline. Now the dive's gonna come through. Accidentally bonking their head on the street sign there, not able to get the distance they want, but find the picks they need anyway. Res used here just to get the extra fight. If you take this fight quickly, you do lose it, you do have at least one more fight thanks to that res. It looks like Rage Quit wants to do exactly that, get a quick team fight started up. However, I think they realized that they the only ones pushed up that far and they had to walk back a little bit. They're just waiting on this EMP from Jag to come through. Jag's not really able to push in though, because they're monitoring this hallway heavily. They know Jag's looking for EMP. They're gonna find it too. They get 4 members of Rogue Knights. It's huge. But Night Starling able to get the boot kill on the Rage Quit. Bomb gets tossed up. Oh no! Maka thought it was gonna land on the platform, so they hopped down and it didn't actually go up. Tater-Bots in danger of not even finding a single tick here. Oh no, nobody's actually going to be close enough to touch. It's a full hold from Rogue Knights.
Score 0-0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
It was a very well executed dive from the side of Rogue Knights. Because Tater-Bots had the counter pick heroes to make the dives like life as hard as possible, but they were able to just kind of execute on the missed positions of Tater-Bots and get aggro when they could afford to.
Ready for battle.
Did a really good job of singling out Korean Wannabe too. Korean Wannabe was on the McCree. If you let that go unchecked against the dive comp, he will melt your bubble, flash your monkey. He's just a pain to dive into. It looks like with this, with them needing a full hold of their own here, they're gonna opt for the Rhine Diva with a Hanzo Ashe and Mercy Moira. Looking for the long range game here. Meanwhile, Rogue Knights not really fixing something that's not broken here. Sticking with the dive, swapping out the DPS on a little bit here. They know they don't have to hold anymore, they need to get aggressive, so they're going to drop the Ashe Torb for something a little more mobile. Now they have the Pharah and Echo. That's going to be a real pain to deal with here. But I do think between Korean on Hanzo and Jag on Ashe, they should have the tools, and the support line of Mercy Lucio. And last round, able to get an early first pick on the Maka. That's huge. Now they're going to start collapsing. They dive in here onto the small choke that they've left themselves stuck into. Able to get an early, or sorry, not an early pick, but a pick on the strongest. The picks are just going in favor of Rogue Knights here. That early pick on the Maka, removing most of that team's healing. They only have Lucio here. That's one tick to Rogue Knights, and map 2 as well to Rogue Knights.
That was unfortunate for Tater-Bots, but you know, the minute Maka was picked off and focused, that was kind of it.
Yeah, when you get put in that like full hold position, you really can't afford to lose anybody on your team early, let alone your like primary source of healing.
Yeah.
Just extremely good like communication and execution on the side of Rogue Knights tonight. They showed up ready to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, swapping teams. Oh, just blind. Okay, and then we can get our swaps in. The first two maps have gone to Rogue Knights, Seth. Oh, I messed it up. Hmm. I gotta move all these spectators too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bullet is in for Jag. Wait, I just moved them, didn't I?
What do you mean?
Bullet for Jag. Okay. Sorry. I'm so slow. AJ
You
for
moved to the teams, but you
Korean.
haven't moved the spectators yet.
Um. Okay. Okay. How's that looking? Double check for me.
It's all good. I was
Okay.
watching to make sure you got it.
Ah, alright, cool. And we have readies from both team. Alright, we'll begin.
Now entering the Temple of Olympus. Initiating match.
Good ol' Anubis.
Alright, this is a map I don't absolutely love.
This is my favorite map. I am very glad that it's in the rotation this week.
See,
All
we're
the maps in
flipping.
Overwatch, this one is at the top of my list.
Ready for
Am I
battle.
only just now noticing the distance at which shadows render in at? Oh my goodness. I didn't notice that. The non-static shadows like have a really short rendering distance.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
we swapped the teams. Now I'm like, which team is which again?
You want a bandage for
Green
that?
team is Tater-Bots and red team is, or green team. Blue team is Tater-Bots and red team is Roguelites.
4,
right?
I like that they're running double shield.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective
Rogue Knight's opting for a sort of brawl comp with the Ryan and Zarya. That's the Lucio. That's what you're trying to achieve there, but you have the long-range power of the Widow, and the Echo. Echo is just so versatile in all comps. You can play in just about anything. Rogue Knight's here opting for the double shield comp with the Junkrat burst damage for this room. AJ trying to contest this Widowmaker with the help of Maka and Mercy. Chaotic Phoenix has fully gotten into their backline with the help of that window in that small room, but Polish is popping off here in this little room, finding 2 picks already. The res does come through on Eldritch, but Bees falls to Rage Quit. All this damage in this little room here. Finally, the sustain from this brawl comp is fading, but Chaotic Phoenix able to find a late pick on the Rage Quit, and Carter shuts them down, but the damage is done. Sort of, actually. The res comes through on the Rage Quit. They do lose bullet dodgers, but that's not as critical. Well, Polish here caught out really far in. Shatter's gonna come through. Polish is in the immortality field, though. Not gonna die just yet. They have superchargers. They're gonna use it too. Halt going through, finding about 3 members of this enemy team, and Rage Quit able to execute on said Halt and supercharger. AJ falling weak. Chaotic does get the finishing blow onto them too. Is Maka gonna be able to get the res here? They do go for it. Chaotic Phoenix is not protecting the body. They lose their Mercy actually. And because of that, AJ's able to get the pick. They lost the line of sight on Chaotic Phoenix and fall. Now Chaotic Phoenix has to try and get out of this position without a Mercy and isn't gonna make it happen. Is a really, really strong defense for Tater-Bots so far. Looks like whatever they had, like, whatever crack in the armor that was found was sealed up. Rage Quit using the Rabbinic Flux, finding 4 members of the team. Chaotic Phoenix using the duplicate to escape the drop. Polish finds the pick on the Eldritch, but he gets rezzed up, and Bullet Dodgers removing the dupe. Riptire coming in, what's it gonna find? It finds Kuro on Mercy. That's gonna hurt Rogue Knights a lot. Eldritch falls too. Your main tank and your main healer are gone. Bees team mech. This fight's going in favor of Tater-Bots again. Chaotic Phoenix though able to get the pick of the Bullet Dodgers, but Maka really making sure that none of these kills are permanent, helping their team make sure that they're ready for these next fights. And Rage Quit with a really good late stagger pick on the Beast, on the Baby Diva.
60 seconds remaining.
You're dangerously close to 1-fight territory now. Eldritch is just gonna dive on this front line here. Bullet Dodgers falls last round with the swap to the Pharah. Able to help out a lot here. Really good rock on the Eldritch, who's currently burning half health. The tank line for Rogue Knights is dangerously weak. Barrage coming through, not gonna find any picks. It does force out a lot of the support resources though, and Eldritch with a huge leap, finding the pick up of McFrancis and finishing off the supercharger from Polish. Bob being tossed in here, but it might be too little too late. Bob getting knocked off the point, not even contesting anymore. Maka doing all they can to keep their teammates alive. Rage Quit the only one left on point. Bob trying to pressure down the team, but the bubble is preventing any of the damage from coming through. It looks like Rogue Knights have finally come through and been able to stop this. Bullet Dodgers on the Reaper now, just going to try and sustain a little bit longer, buy their team some time moving into point B. And if you're Bullet Dodgers, if you're staying on Reaper, you did manage to build 40% of your ultimate moving into this next fight, but it doesn't look like Rogue Knights built or was able to hold on to any crucial ults that would have snowballed them at this point. Maybe the Riptire, but I think in terms of the snowball, I don't think the Tater-Bots has to worry about that too terribly much. Bees is still demeched, which is a big part of that. No snowball yet thing. Getting the damage boost, so 5% off of Mecha. Halt coming through, no rock to follow it up. Bees does get pulled into the line of sight, but doesn't get punished for remeching in it. Now Eldritch just showed up, the bomb gets tossed in. Finds Maka, that's a huge pick. Maka who's doing so much for this team. The Gravitic Flux not gonna find anything. Chaotic Phoenix though does with the Riptire. Amplification Matrix used, but unfortunately all that was left on point by that point in time is McCrantz and Bullet Dodgers, and Bullet Dodgers falls out of race mode and immediately falls. Rage Quit swapped the ball, but the body block is coming in. Now Barrage too, trying to keep Maka off point, but Maka is able to sidestep away from it and come back on the point. And Chaotic Phoenix is gonna fall. This might start turning back in favor of Tater-Bots. Maka falls to the Junkrat trap. And now the pick's going back in favor. The res of the Chaotic Phoenix was huge. The support line's gone, and now so it's Bullet Dodgers. That revive was so clutch here. That was absolutely starting to swing back in the favor of Tater-Bots, but Rogue Knights, Kuro, able to get the revive on the Chaotic Phoenix, and Chaotic Phoenix collects a grand total of, I think, 3 kills after the revive, plus the 4th with the Junkrat trap, if I didn't completely miscount.
Yeah, Bloods, it's 2-0 in favor of Rogue, and I think I saw that as well, so I think you're safe.
Still though, a minute and a half time bank, that's a very good defense from Tater-Bots.
Ready for battle.
And you're gonna see that double shield coming back. With a Junk, a Baptiste, an Ashe, and a Mercy. And you see this trap set up here by Chaotic, hopefully to get some ult charge. I'm gonna see a dive come out over here with that Farm Mercy.
Polish already low. Carter getting the pocket though. Well, Polish and Carter falling through there for a moment. Brown getting the damage boost pocket from Yellow. Polish has decided it's time to dive in with the help of Rage Quit. Polish gets stuck in her Junkrat trap though, and they're trying to execute on that. Carter able to get a pick on the Chaotic Phoenix, so a lot of damage missing for the team, and Yellow gets booped away from the res. And now Bullet Dodgers forces Yellow off of this high ground, their safety spot. Now Tater-Bots are collapsing on everybody that's been forced out of their comfort zone. Last round able to get a pick on the McGrantis, and Eldritch pulls a pick away from Bullet Dodgers. But now you lose Eldritch, there's not really anybody who's going to stand on this objective and tell Tater-Bots to stop capping the point. Chaotic Phoenix makes a return, trying to buy some time bank here, and does get a quick little trap on the Rage Quit. Ult eco, you know? Gotta get that Riptire. But that fight was so fast, neither team really has ults yet. You'll be seeing both support ults and potentially Barrage here inside of Tater-Bots, as well as Primal Rage. But if you're Rogue Knights, you're coming up on Supercharger, Bob, Riptire, and both support ults of your own. And an early pickup on a Grantis is gonna hurt really bad. Rage Quit gets stuck in a trap on Primal. This makes you a really, really big hitbox. And now Bob going through, not gonna really be missing shots here onto the farmer, see if they decide to stick around, but it looks like they don't. Very good ult usage from both sides, only using one ult on each team. Primal was invested by Tater-Bots, Bob was invested by Rogue Knights. And you have Chaotic Phoenix here looking for the pick when they go through main, but it doesn't look like they want to do that. They're pushing in this right path in here. Chaotic Phoenix can use Riptire from main. Is it going to find anything? It's going to find Rage Quit and nearly not Polish out of Mecha. But Carter finds a pick on the Brown. Is there going to be anything else here? Maka pocketing Bullet Dodgers kind of just in the middle of all this, and now the Reds comes through and the Rage Quit, and the Barrage coming in from behind! Carter finding the support line! Can Chaotic Phoenix make a carry play again? They find McGrantis, and now it looks like Rogue Knights have point just like locked down again. All that's left here is Maka, and Chaotic Phoenix is gonna shut that one right back down. That almost looked like it was gonna go Tater-Bots' way, but I guess there was just so much trading happening. The respawn advantage started favoring Rogue Knights. Carter trying to build up another barrage here, just spamming rockets down the main choke onto the point. Or if you can break a shield, if you can force Sigma to pull that shield back and only have a little bit of health on it the next time it gets deployed, that's big. Polish throwing in bomb, it gets blocked by the Sigma shield more than the Orca shield. Really well placed there, but Sigma did a very good job blocking it. There's the window coming in from Baptiste, and Bullet Dodger's gonna fall to Rogue Knights' Chaotic Phoenix. Looks like that's just Tater-Bots deciding it's time to get out. Still though, Chaotic Phoenix finding stagger picks.
I like where they keep holding. Like, they're not holding directly in front of the point, but they're like, like where the shield is at. I think that's interesting. I've never seen that work before, I should say. I've never really seen it.
It's really good for the shields because you're using that pillar to block some of the damage coming in with your shield. It's basically less stressful on the Orisa. With a fantastic Riptire! Able to find Maka and Carter, who were just trying to use the right pathing to jump over those rocks. That's immediately telling Tater-Bots to leave, and they do. And for the cost of one Riptire, you have costed Tater-Bots a full minute in time bank. However, Tater-Bots, because these fights haven't even been able to open up in their favor, they're banking ultimates. They're coming up on their 4th ultimate. But an early pick on the Carter again. That's going to stagger this out even longer. Maka uses res, but that won't be available for like clutch res play coming in on the fight point. Rage Quit able to knock a couple of members off of the right pillar, and now the Dragon Blade coming through. Eldritch was able to eat it with the Fortify. Now Carter using the barrage, finding Chaotic Phoenix and Kuro. Rage Quit tried to boot Bob off point, but Primal expired before they could achieve that. Now Bob's just going to contest for free. Baptiste trying to stall here, getting the pocket from the Valkyrie no-seeker, or Yellow. Carter finally getting the final blow, and now Rogue Knights are back on the point. They have Bomb being invested here. No shields either. They broke both of them just in time. The Bomb able to find Eldritch. That's your main sustain in a position like this. Now, I think if you can swing this fight, that's going to be huge. But the picks are still going through for Tater-Bots. Bullet Dodgers on the swap for Reaper, really, really helpful for this team, and they finally squeeze in that last % they were looking for.
Score.
A great stall, though, from the side of Rogue Knights. Even though they do end up giving up the point, they drained, what was it, a 4-minute time bank? 5-minute time bank? It was a really, really, I should have looked up at that, but because of how quickly Tater-Bots capped, I'm going to compromise at a 4-minute, 30-second time bank.
It was pretty long. I mean, it worked in their favor,
And
really.
you end up with a better situation in terms of time bank, too.
Of course, yeah.
Ready for battle.
Question is, what are we expecting from Tater-Bots this time, and does Rogue Knights counter it?
I'm really loving Chaotic on Reaper. Oh, so no one's gonna tell me L2 makes you go higher.
60 seconds.
I've been pointing at the sky this whole time. Oh my god.
The other trigger will make you go lower too.
This is wonderful. And instantly you're gonna see this team fight begin.
Yeah, this dive coming in really quickly here. This is what worked for them last time, and Bullet Dodger's trying to pressure down this Ashe Mercy combo, but Kuro on the Moira, something the Genji can't deflect, comes back and finishes off Bullet Dodgers. A very bold positioning to begin with, too, with this much time left, and Polish in danger, able to use the boosters to get out. Now you have Carter going up into the high ground here to knock Ashe off. Chaotic Phoenix going to take control of this high ground. Carter falling, that's going to be huge here.
And they're going to have to start
Rage
touching.
Quit's falling weak. Rage Quit has to disengage here. They can't get aggressive. Valkyrie being used. Is it going to be enough? Chaotic Phoenix is going to pick up on the Krampus. There's a lot of healing missing. Maka's going to get the res. Can they get away with their life? They do. Last round finds a pick on the Bullet Dodgers. But Death Blossom coming through. Rage Quit did boop Chaotic Phoenix off the point, but it was too little too late. The damage was already done.
Yeah, like literally as I say,
overtime.
as I say, I'm loving Chaotic on Reaper. He pops. Like that Reaper swap right there, I think was a great choice, especially because they're gonna be playing that dive. And like Reaper is like Winston's biggest counter.
Yeah. It was really smart of Chaotic Phoenix to predict the dive and go on ahead and make a counter swap.
But I can't blame them for running dive. I mean, it was working.
Yeah, no, it worked better than like your other comps that you had been running before this. The Orisa Hog.
And they're gonna copy that dive
wasn't able to
comp
crack it.
with
Almost to a
Eldritch
T,
Winston,
yeah.
and then Bison Diva. We have that bar. We don't have a Mercy though, so.
Right. You're also subbing out the Genji for the Reaper.
And then we have that Moira Lucio. I'm gonna have that double
The Reaper will
shield.
be really strong. The Reaper and the Pharah are gonna overwhelm Orisa, I think.
I mean, luckily you have a Baptiste and a Mercy to kind of like focus that healing on Orisa, but let's see how it goes. Especially with that Torb to counter that Pharah as well.
Right.
Defend objective A.
Rock being tossed early, able to find a quick rock hit on the bees. Ball comes through, finding 3 members, and Carter finding a really early pick on the Chaotic Phoenix as the dive happens. Thoreau able to get the res, and Brown takes out their counter turret. Polish gets the D-Mech here. They fall back to point. As soon as the dive came through, Tater-Bots immediately fell back. Oh, Carter was still up on the platform though, got dove on, and then the splash from the dive, and then Brown's rocket just immediately deleted them. Chaotic Phoenix dropping in behind them from the high ground, pressuring Bullet Dodgers into this corner, but the more they get pressured into this corner, the more value the Pharah and the Reaper are going to get. McBrantis does get a kill on the Chaotic Phoenix, that should help a lot, but the barrage coming through in this small area, able to find Polish, that's a lot of your sustain missing. There's not going to be anybody to solve this point out once everybody falls.
And they're doing a great
Carter
job
finally
with
makes
this
it back on the
focus
soldier,
target.
but that is all they wrote for Anubis. Rogue Knights takes the 3rd map of the series. Rogue Knights have been playing excellently all night.
But like, especially on that map, Tater-Bots was putting up a great fight.
Yeah.
Especially
I
with the
do
dive
think
that they were
Tater-Bots has
running.
a really solid chance of taking map 4 if they keep playing like this.
Agreed.
Chaotic was just coming up clutch so much on Anubis between the Junkrat and the Reaper.
Yeah. Chaotic was doing great. I mean, his junk was doing amazing, but his Reaper was breathtaking. Like, especially, I think, you know, the comp that Tater-Bots was running probably helped. But it was a great, great play. Okay, and then we are going to Rialto. Okay.
Rialto hasn't been a very dive-friendly map over its time. Definitely favors the more double shield, over Sahag type compositions.
Yeah. Oops. Come back, Yellow. We're not done with you. There we go. And then we have Jag and Rage for Tater-Bots, and Polish and AJ, and Maka and Mac. Okay. Alright, let's get ready. Oh yeah, I guess I gotta swap teams.
Mm-hmm. What is chat's opinion of Rialto?
They hate it. It's horrible.
I feel like
kidding.
that's Time's
It's just
opinion
me.
of Rialto.
Chat's not very active. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything, right? No. Curse this chat bug.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Swap to spectators and come back. Okay, cool. And we are beginning.
Awesome.
Welcome to Rialto. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Alright, let's do some first person.
Double, quadruple, check your map.
So, early on, Tater-Bots here on defense. Or no, we swapped everything, sorry. Rogue Knights on defense, starting off with a double shield with 2 ranged DPS between the Soldier and the Ashe with Lucio and Mercy. I like having the Lucio in this composition with the double shield. It helps the lesser mobile tanks keep up with their DPS that do have mobility and they need to get out and back away from the enemy team, which looks like they'll be needing to do a lot of because Jag is busted out the Reinhardt and the Rage Quit on Roadhog. These are 2 hyper aggro tanks. They're going to be looking to get in your face as much as possible. Carter on Junkrat looking to join the Junker buddy on the aggression levels. Polish on their Widowmaker. Scary. Maka on Ana and the Francis on Baptiste. And the fight has already begun. Jag is in all of Rogue Knight's faces right now. And Polish able to get the finishing blows here. Rage Quit on a flank. Able to get a hook on the cat. And now Jag finds Sean. Just overextended a little bit.
And they're forcing them back.
Well, you're able to get both of their. Oh, Jag with an amazing fire strike on the Nation. The tanks have already claimed the turret area, and Eldritch has been hooked twice by Rage Quit here. Cat able to get the res on the Nation. That's a full team. Both these teams are here fully and ready to take this team fight. Right now it's just a poke war. Jag has like no shield left. Polish able to get a melee kill on the Rinse though. But they're gonna start getting aggressive. They see that Jag's shield is almost expired. They walk in though and they get a shatter, finding 3 members of the enemy team. Rogue Knights have been forced in this room. Rage Quit able to get 2 picks at the whole hog, knocking Eldritch off into the river. And a good hook on the cat, but not able to get the 1-2 combo there. Bob being invested, tossed onto the point. And Polish though able to answer back with a pick on the cat. Rent's getting a pick on the McBrantis, who's just overextended a little bit on the cart in the sight lines. Jag falling dangerously low here because of the Bob and Ashe. Polish using the infrasight here. They'll be able to see Rogue Knights everywhere they are. Eldritch able to get a pick on the Carter. Carter was trying to switch strike out if I saw that correctly. And now Jag's being forced to back up and not quite gonna make it. The shield hop, not enough. Rogue Knight's able to hold just barely here and getting a nice stagger pick on the Polish. But Rogue Knight's able to hold here just barely. Let's start winding this cart backwards a little bit. You see on the side of Rogue Knights, oh, Polish with another early pick here. And now there's a Roadhog war going on back here by the river. Rage Quit's in trouble. The res comes through. Rage Quit using Warhog, gonna knock Sean off into the river. Meanwhile, Nanoblade being invested on the cart.
60 seconds remaining.
And you're gonna see insta swaps over here to dive.
Yeah. The tank line for Tater-Bots just pushing up here, trying to take as much space as they can. But the tank line, however, Rogue Knights dives the point, finding Polish, who is just pushing Cart peacefully. And now Sean with another pick of the McBrantis. The team finally has turned around here to acknowledge the flank, but the damage is already done. The attack lines are being invested in the period of this team fight. Jag, I would assume, just jumped off the map. I didn't manage to see
Maybe
what
a hard
happened.
reset.
Not wanting to feed the 500 HP ult charge to the enemy team. They already have the shatter of their own, so they're not exactly looking to build ult. However, the rest of Tater-Bots is looking to build ults.
Huge
Shatter
shatter.
being used, finding 2 members, and Yellow does get deleted because of it, but Nation and Rincewash able to get counter picks here, while Tater-Bots was trying to get aggressive. They let their guard down in favor of getting picks. But Jag hasn't quit yet. Jag able to find a pick on the cat. Have enough members of Rogue Knights on the cart, but Eldritch getting demessed here by Polish. Yeah, Polish made the swap from the Reaper. I did not notice that just now.
I mean, you're gonna
A good
see
swap
everyone
given the dive swaps that came through from Rogue Knights. And now you have Rincewash in the backline here, just stuck trying to use this little pole here to dodge Polish's shots, but it's only going to last for so long. Tater-Bots are getting this cart close to completion here. Polish, TP's above and behind. Rogue Knights chasing down Yellow, trying to get the final pick, or the final blow onto that Lucio. However, Eldritch is going to find the final blow on the Polish. And if you take it, you get that aggressive. Maka though, finding Sean, who also got extremely aggressive and far away from their team. Jag gets the nano, able to find Yellow, who was pushed up really far trying to help support the aggression. Looks like that will be the... Oh, no. Eldritch wants to protect us a little bit longer. Beat doesn't come in time to save Eldritch. It will, however, help Sean get out, and Yellow's just going to try and protect his part for as long as possible. Jag finally able to get the final hammer's blow to finish off Yellow. Jag with a really big shatter here, finding half of the team of Rogue Knights. However, not going to really be able to execute on it due to the Reinhardt, not allowing Reinhardt to follow up on his own shatters very much anymore. But gets tossed out, doesn't find anything. Bomb being thrown in, no shield to protect the team. It will find McFrancis, and Jag does fall, trying to turn around to help the team. Nation getting hyper aggressive here, finding the pick on their counterpart. And Maka! And they saw AJ try to hide, they push out into that little corner and get the extra stagger pick on the Carter. Are they gonna find anything else? It doesn't look like it. Jag manages to find their way all the way back out. Or, sorry, rage quits.
60 seconds remaining.
The big bucks coming through here, finding quite a few members. Tater-Bots. Now, but Polish goes into the backline, finds both the Mercy and the Reinhardt for Rogue Knights. That was a really good sleep dart on the Sean. However, Nation's still alive, harassing Maka, forcing Maka to back up here. The cart will progress though. Rincewash swaps over the Tracer, able to get a pick on the McFrancis. Oh no, you could consider that an early pick. Polish is on the Tracer of their own now. Jag able to get a pick on the Nation here. That's big. That won't be any. That Reaper won't be there eating into their Roadhog any longer. Carter uses High Noon, but not gonna find any picks with it. Does get the flashbang off on the Sean, but now Sean's harassing, able to find the pick on the AJ Carter. Window gets used from McFrancis, but put an awkward angle given the positioning of the enemy team. And the shadow comes through from Eldritch to the team. The Yellow with the pulse bomb. Is it gonna be enough? The rest comes through, so essentially nothing happens now. Maka on Lucio just trying to stall out the cart a little bit longer, but not able to get the map completion they were looking for. Do manage to get the cart quite far though.
0 to 2. Switching sides. Initiating match.
I mean, they pushed it pretty far.
Mm-hmm. A lot of maps have that like whole like, okay, you expect to get that objective, but
Right.
the other two are hard. But Rialto doesn't really have any of those. You do know that you could very well get full held on A or push halfway through B and get stalled out and not really find your footing again. And then C is just really hard to push through in general. You're constantly at a high ground disadvantage until you're almost at the end of the map. Attacking on Rialto is just so incredibly hard.
And
I believe a lot of players
love
consider attacking on B on Rialto to be the hardest objective to clear in the game.
I mean, I feel like point B is pretty long. And especially with like the corners that you can duck and hide under, it's pretty difficult. But I love the fact that they're playing this Reaper Tracer comp on Nation and Rinse.
4, 3,
I think it's working for them, especially with like Zarya and Ryan that they want to push on.
escort the payload.
And Rogue Knights here wasting no time getting aggressive. And Jagbo able to find a really early pick on the Sean with a nice fire strike. Eldritch tossing in a fire strike of their own, getting Maka down to almost 1 HP. Really nice dynamite, finding a few numbers. However, Fade being used from both Reaper and Moira is going to deny a lot of the ult charge polish could have gotten there. Eldritch pushing in, getting a little aggressive, but getting punished for it. Their health is dangerously low, and now you have Carter on Reaper trying to get the confirmation kill there, but Cat uses Coalescence, and Reinhardt's shield isn't going to protect him from that. Jag falls because of it. Carter trying to build ult here off of Reinhardt. Eldritch, Bob tossed in, it's thaw out this cart here. Polish gets the pick on the Eldritch with a lot of the damage from Carter helping out. Rince tries to get a pulse bomb pick to turn this back in favor of Rogue Knight, but not gonna find it. And Shatter gets used here. Eldritch isn't there to block it. Both the Zarya and the Reaper are gonna fall.
That was a very smart play there by Polish, with the Bob being thrown to kind of contest point for a little. Because I mean, honestly, I thought that point was gonna go straight through to point B, but it didn't. So great play. Bob
really allowed them to back up and take the fight where they wanted to take it instead of being pressured to get on card. Graviton surge being used here, but a counter Shatter going to prevent any follow-up from coming through. Jag falls early here, Collectance getting used, but Rinswash able to get McBrantis too! Red's coming through, but the Coalescence is lost, and I think this is just going to be Rage Quit McGrantis trying to get out. He loses the Valkyrie too. A lot of ults being used here from Tater-Bots, but not getting the value they need to really stop this card. And now you have Sean coming up on Graviton Surge, and Nation has Blossom. And you don't really have answers for those anymore. There's the Surge, and there's the Blossom coming in with it. That should give them point A. Carter swaps to Pharah, but isn't able to get low enough in altitude to actually touch the cart and prevent it from being turned in. Rinswash able to get the pick on the Polish from behind, and
This will heal you.
that's going to set them up for a decent chunk of B getting turned in before Tater-Bots can make a successful recontest here.
And you're gonna start seeing Eldritch get aggressive. Forcing, trying, doing anything they can to push them back.
Jag uses Shatter, but a really well-timed bubble, able to block it. Getting the pin on the Eldritch though, and the follow-up damage is enough. However, you lose Rage Quit and Rinswash, and Bob being tossed in here. Tater-Bots committed to trying to hold this cart at this corner, but the support line are getting aggressive. Bob is preventing the cart from moving though, which is really good. Carter just trying to get picks from the air. Still full on health, and they receive the Zarya bubble, deterring the team from even trying to shoot at Carter. Tater-Bots able to come back in and get another touch on the cart. They have to start winning these fights if they want to hold on B. Carter goes in behind though with a barrage, finding 2 members. Both charges used here. Luckily, that guardrail actually stops Reinhardt. The cat able to get a pick on the Carter. Res coming through though. Courtesy of Maka. Jag coming up on another shatter here though. Very quick build. Coalescence gets invested and Tater-Bots use that as a cue to back out. Jag was looking for an easy pin. If you get a kill there for that cheap, that's big for the team. Shatter coming through, the shield doesn't go up in time to block it, and counter shatter does go through, but not finding nearly as many members. Both Graviton surges being used here, but no DPS ults. Well, it looks like Rogue Knights opting they don't need any of them. But Carter and Polish were just a little bit off of their DPS ultimates to execute on any tank ults. Carter able to get a pick on the Nation. That should stall out this first fight a little bit. And now if you're Tater-Bots, you really can't, if you're going to give up much more ground here, you can't afford to lose any more fights. Yellow falling dangerously low here. Nation coming up this back room, looking for a flank. If they get this Blossom off here, that could be huge, and Jag finally decides to get aggressive. The Ridge Rush though, able to get a pick on the Polish with the Deadeye, and Jag's falling! This Mirage shots to be huge, they're getting the Mercy Fog as a damage boost, but it's only going to find Rinse Wash. They also get Cat though, Mirage being used. Carter with another pick though, if they can touch. McBrantis touches Cart. Is it going to be enough? They're just kind of hiding from the team, trying to buy Tater-Bots enough time to get out here and touch. Rage quit on the ball now, able to get out here and get a nice slam. It looks like Tater-Bots should be able to hold this fight here, but you're in a very dangerous place right now if you're Tater-Bots.
And keep in mind, they only have, or I mean, they still have a minute and 30 seconds to push this thing of just a couple meters.
Rage Quit's finding themselves in a little bit of trouble here.
This will restore you.
Eldritch Splash, they do have the Shatter, they have a lot of ultimates ready to go on the side of Rogue Knights, but Polish is coming up big in the neutral. Maka able to get the res here. Carter deciding to invest Barrage here, getting the 2 picks that will really swing this fight back in their favor. They use a couple ultimates, but they're coming up on Deadeye. They should be able to build Coalescence. It'll come late in the fight, but it will show up. You will get mines. You already have Shatter, you already have Deadeye. Tater-Bots have a decent chance at holding here. Rogue Knights will also see both of their support ults. They're definitely going to get that Coalescence up. They have the Sound Barrier. They should find Deadeye, and they all of them have a Shatter of their own. So both these teams going into this, what I would assume is last clean team fight with a lot of ults, and Rage Quit going to go ahead and use mines here, splitting off Eldritch from their team. And Polish is going to try and go ahead and shut this fight down before it can even start, getting another pick on the Nation. And another pick on the Reds! These stagger picks are killing Rogue Knights! I don't know if anybody can get there in time. Shatter gets used to stall them out. They do get a touch, courtesy of Cat. Now the Sound Barrier is being used. Eldritch gets a nice Shatter! Polish getting a punishing pick on the Eldritch, but AJ is allowed to just sort of rain something down with the... Oh, Rinse shutting down both DPS. That might be the turnaround that Rogue Knights were looking for to get this 4-0 they need. Oh no, things were looking so good for Tater-Bots. If you're fast enough, you do have a chance at recontesting here. Jag's gonna sacrifice themselves for just a little bit of extra time. But it's not gonna happen, they're not gonna be able to make it out in time. Now we Rogue Knights taking the 4th map and blaming the series with a 4-0.
I mean, that was a great play from Renz at that end. With the pop off, it was like the 3K, I believe. It was a 2K in the Deadeye, and then taking off that one last kill that they needed.
Epic. Pure class.
Alright. Well, looks like Rogue Knights takes the win. But I mean, honestly, that was a great fight that Tater-Bots put up. Especially with Carter on Farah, Polish, and the support lines on these two teams was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I agree.
And their tanks
100%.
just constantly went head to head. Gosh, okay, well, so 2 MVPs for Rogue Knights and 1 for Tater-Bots. Are you ready? Alright.
I'm immediately going to make an argument for Maka getting the support MVP for Tater-Bots. Maka was played a huge role in almost every single one of their team fights, in either sustaining their team long enough that they had a chance in every team fight, or a good res would always come through and swing things back in favor of Tater-Bots if they had been lost.
Okay, yeah, I can get behind that.
Not to mention their evasive skills.
Yeah. Maka, okay. Yeah, I agree. 110%. Okay, so we have the MVP for Tater-Bots. And now for Rogue Knights.
For tank, I'm honestly thinking Sean.
Okay.
Because Sean was doing a great job on both the Sigma and the Roadhog whenever I was seeing them on those two specific heroes. Really, really good job with the shield management from Sean. And they were doing a really good job also of flanking on Roadhog and getting the decent hook kills. Really, just supporting Eldritch as well.
I mean, I 110% agree as well. Sean did a great job with supporting Eldritch. And I honestly, Sean's performance popped out to me on the boop map. Give me the boop map.
Ilios?
Ilios. Yes. But yeah. Okay, so we have Sean. We have Maka. And now for DPS. For me, it's going to be between Rinse and Nation and Chaotic, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm leaning Chaotic for DPS personally. Either Chaotic or Rinse.
Okay, alright, we can agree on that. Chaotic for DPS. Okay,
All right,
and then
so that's the MVPs.
that's the that's the MVPs. Okay, cool. Well, that was a great fight, and thank you guys for watching. And I'll go ahead and end the stream now. Cool. Thank you guys.